When you watch Patrick Mahomes play quarterback, you notice right away that something is different. He doesn't drop back and throw like most NFL quarterbacks. He'll launch the ball while falling sideways from odd arm angles or even with a no-look flick. And more often than not, it works. It's not just raw talent. Plenty of strong-armed quarterbacks have come through the league. What stands out with Mahomes is how his game seems built on instincts and movement patterns that don't come from traditional quarterback coaching. That's because for a long time, football wasn't even his main sport. Patrick Mahomes grew up planning to be a baseball player. His path to becoming one of the most influential quarterbacks in NFL history started on the diamond, not the gridiron. And that unlikely background may be exactly what makes him so dangerous today. Patrick was born in 1995 in Tyler, Texas, into a sports family. His father, Pat Mahomes Sr., pitched in the major leagues for 11 seasons. Patrick literally grew up around big league clubhouses, traveling with his dad and seeing what professional athletic life looked like up close. That environment shaped him early. Sports weren't distant heroes on TV. They were part of everyday life. He absorbed routines, work ethic, and competitiveness without it feeling forced. But Patrick wasn't locked into one sport. He played football, basketball, and baseball at a high level. In high school at White House, he was a three-sport standout. As a senior in football, he threw for over 4,600 yards and 50 touchdowns. On the baseball field, he once threw a no-hitter with 16 strikeouts in a game, and the Detroit Tigers even drafted him. Baseball gave him something special. Pitching and throwing from different positions taught him to generate power from varied arm slots and body positions. He learned to make quick adjustments and throw accurately, even when off balance. Those patterns would later show up in ways NFL defenses struggled to handle. By high school, it was clear Patrick was special. He wasn't just athletic, he had a feel for games that went beyond mechanics. Football showed his creativity, big arm. Basketball sharpened his spatial awareness, court vision, and ability to read defenders on the move. But baseball remained central. It reinforced a loose, natural throwing motion that didn't always match the textbook quarterback drop-back, over-the-top release. Most quarterback prospects spend years drilling perfect footwork and clean mechanics. Mahomes spent years developing instincts in multiple sports. He learned to improvise when plays broke down, a skill that would become his signature. Patrick committed to Texas Tech, where he played both football and baseball as a freshman, before focusing fully on football. In Lubbock, he put up video game numbers. As a sophomore in 2015, he threw for 4,653 yards and 36 touchdowns. In 2016, he went for 5,052 yards and 41 touchdowns. He was a gunslinger in an up-tempo air raid system, aggressive, creative, and fun to watch. The production was undeniable, but NFL scouts had real questions. His footwork looked sloppy. He held the ball too long. He made too many risky throws. He broke fundamental rules that traditional evaluators prized. Mahomes didn't look like the polished pocket passers teams usually trusted at the top of the draft. He was controlled chaos, exciting but uncertain. On draft night in 2017, the Kansas City Chiefs traded up to select him 10th overall. It was a bet on upside over polish, and one of the most important moves in modern NFL history. The Chiefs did something smart with their new quarterback. They didn't rush him. Mahomes spent most of his rookie season learning behind veteran Alex Smith. He studied the playbook, watched how NFL defenses operated, and developed mentally without taking every hit. Then in 2018, he took over as the full-time starter, and everything changed. Mahomes threw for 5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns in his first full season. He won NFL MVP, and suddenly the entire league had a problem. Those flaws scouts had flagged, the off-platform throws, sidearm releases, improvisational style, became his biggest weapons. Instead of forcing himself into a traditional mold, Mahomes refined what made him unique. The baseball-influenced arm talent let him make throws from angles and positions that defenses weren't prepared for. Since then, the success has been remarkable. Multiple Super Bowl wins, impossible comebacks, and a level of composure that teammates and coaches rave about.
Even when games turn chaotic, Mahomes often looks like he's playing backyard football, calm, creative, and in control. His influence goes beyond stats. Young quarterbacks now train to move and throw more like him. Offensive coordinators design schemes with more freedom and improvisation because Mahomes showed it can win at the highest level. When you step back, the story is remarkable. Patrick Mahomes wasn't built in the traditional quarterback factory. His foundation came from growing up around baseball, playing multiple sports, and developing instincts that didn't fit the old mold. Football gave him the platform, but baseball may have quietly built the weapon that changed the game. So, how much of Mahomes' success do you think traces back to his baseball roots? Is he already one of the all-time greats, or is there more to come? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you like this deep dive, give it a like, subscribe, and let me know what other stories you want to hear next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.